Hello and welcome to a game of Corsair Leader by DVG, Dan Verson Games. If you haven't watched and don't know the rules, I recommend that you go to my other series, which is the introductory mission, the Battle of Luzon. And there I try to go slow, explain the rules, everything. We just finished that campaign, and now I'm starting another campaign, the Battle of Midway, which is rated the hardest by DVG. And in fact, there are two Battle of Midways. For those of you who have already opened your copies, you can see there's this copy here where you have 3 planes available to you, and then there's this copy where you have a whole bunch available to you. And the targets are exactly the same. I did verify that. The year is the same. The bandit pool is the same. The only other difference is you get less SO points on this one. And I thought, well, that's odd. But then I realized, like, for example, you got the Buffalo and a couple of other plane types here that give you SO points just for selecting them. So you can gain a lot more than just 24 for your campaign if you are wise in how you select your planes. This is a battle, of course, and these campaigns, even a long campaign, is only 4 days. So this will be a very quick series, either glorious or abysmal. It depends on how this turns out. The campaign rules are exactly the same regardless. The only other difference is here. You can see the recon is a 1 at the start of the game. And over here you can see the recon is a 0 at the start of the game. So what that means is I don't even get to draw target cards at the start of the game. I have to spend 2 SO points just to do a special recon for the privilege of drawing a card. That is how bad it is. The other part of this is you do start with a little bit more SO points, 33, and that makes sense because I'm going to have to spend a bunch at the start. And also if you look at the intel track here, you can see, and sorry for the glare, that you have to move 3 spots, or actually you have to move twice before you start to get a bonus. Here you only have to move once before you start to get a bonus. So there's some slight differences between the two. Now DVG does explain that this is the Marines perspective of the Battle of Midway, whereas that one is the Navy perspective of the Battle of Midway. So I chose the Navy. I want to be, basically I'm going to control the 4 carriers, right? And we're going to approach the Battle of Midway from the carrier perspective versus, I believe this is the island perspective where you're on the island. So that's what I'm going to do. I actually think they're both very similar in many ways. This, of course, is going to give you a lot more choices for planes. So you may like that one more. I think the bottom track is a lot more forgiving. This one looks much more punishing. So I went for the punishment. Now I did take the time to look it up because it's not often that I have 0 recon points. And I do want to point out that it is covered here. Let me get to the spot, and I apologize. I didn't have it pre-selected before I started the video. It does say you get to draw the number of target cards, 1 target at a time, blah, blah, blah. Well, since it's a 0, you get to draw 0. But here's this recon priority I was telling you about. It allows you to spend, and since we're doing a long campaign, it's going to be 3 SO points, not 2, to draw 1 more target card. So I'm going to have to spend 3 SO points just to get my first target in this game. And that's brutal. So make sure you save SO points for yourself. We start the campaign with 33. And you're going to see that I gained 18 because I selected planes that give me SO points. But then I spent 19 on planes. And then I bought 15 points worth of skills. So that brings me to a leftover total of 17 for the game. And gosh darn it, I'm hoping that I can move that intel counter, or otherwise I'm going to have a very short game here. So I'm at 17, and I do have my pilot selected. I'll go over that with you real quick, and then we can get started. So for the pilots, Remember, we only get to choose 3 types of plane. We get to choose the Wildcat, the Dauntless, and the Devastator. Okay, the Devastators are the ones that give you SO points. So you get 6 SO points for each Devastator that you bring into your lineup. I brought in 3 of them, so that's how I got 18. Now, I chose 2 of my Devastators to be skilled, and you may recognize this name. This is Sarah from DVG, and I gave her the alert skill because she's always responding to my emails like she's alert, and she responds very quickly. So thank you, Sarah, and this is a nod to you for being so alert every time I complain about something or need your help. So she has the alert skill. She's going to be one of my skilled pilots, and if you'll notice, they start with a +3 air to ground, which is the best you can get, and has gung-ho. Same for Washington, skilled pilot, 1 gung-ho, +3 air to ground. And then on the far right is my third one that I picked. I made him a newbie. I may not use him the entire game. I just picked him for the extra SO points. I have a high doubt that I'm going to use all 12 of these on every mission. There's only 4 days in this campaign, so there's not a big chance of gaining, level ups and things of that nature. So he might be the one that just sits a lot. I'll use him, of course, if other people are stressed out. Now, one other thing, you do get 2 stress no matter what the mission is. The entire map is 2 stress. And we use the 1942 counters, so make sure that your Bandit Cup has the 1942 counters, and then you have to make sure you have only the A6M2. If you'll notice, if you're looking in there, you only see A6M2 planes. You got to take everything else out. There's the KI type planes. You got to take them all out, and there's my baggie actually with all the 1942 stuff that does not qualify. So you need to make sure your Bandit Cup is streamlined, okay? You're also going to need a naval cup like this, and then you're going to need, this is, I learned the term for it. It's called an opportunity cup. So you're going to need an opportunity cup like this. Okay, so once you do all that, let's go back to my selection. I picked Brett as a Devastator, and you'll notice he has a picture because he comes from the expansion pack, the Corsair Leader Aces expansion pack. He has his own rules, and he cost me 10 points to get. He comes automatically as a legendary. He counts as one of my average pilots, has +3 air to ground and 3 gung-ho tokens. And he has the diligent ability, so if I sit him out of one mission, he comes into the next mission with +1 to all of his rolls the entire mission. So if I just, let him rest and then bring him in again, he gets +1 to all of his rolls. So I don't know if I'll ever use that, but I just like the idea of having a legendary pilot for just 10 points. That's much cheaper than trying to promote them through the, this promotion chart here. And he has +3 air to ground. How can you not be happy with that? And 3 gung-ho tokens is amazing. So, and he's got 1 cool, which is also good. So, anyways, I have Brett. Now, along those same lines, I have a legendary ace, Jimmy Thatch from the Wildcat. So he has +3 air to air, and he has the agile ability, which if you watched my other series, I told you is my favorite skill in the entire game. And that means he gets to evade for free. And he comes with 2 gung-ho tokens. So he's amazeballs right from the start. And once again, he only cost me 9 points. You can see he costs 9 points in 41 and 42, and then he costs 3 points in 43 or later. But he gets the agile ability, and the rules do specifically say that that agile ability applies to all the different years, not just the bottom one. So my favorite skill in the game, +3 air to air, and he's already promoted to legendary. How can I argue with that? So I actually went with 2 of the legendary pilots in this campaign. For the rest of my fighters, I have Chuck Siegert, Gray Cap, and I recognize him from Facebook. So hello, Chuck, if you're watching this. Glad to have you on the team. And then Buster Wiggins is also on, and I made sure I picked promotion levels for them that had at least a +2 air-to-air, which I have for both of them. And Wiggins starts with a gung-ho, which is also nice. I gave Chuck the fighter pilot, which gives him a +1 air-to-air, so he actually has +3.